Good evening, good evening, good evening, everyone. Oh, thank God it's Friday. And I've been really sick with this flu, but I had to pull myself up out of that bed to keep a promise that I've been keeping. And thank y'all for the emails. Thank my daughter for her sending me some medicine through the mail. Boy, technology is something else. I had all that medication and cold medication. Thank you, Felicia. Thank my son for calling in and checking on me like every few hours. I've been really sick. This flu is something else. If you ain't got it, you don't want to get it. But let us open up with a moment and give our high power all the praise and the glory for what he do. For what we don't see he do that he do. God, thank you. I thank you for letting me lie down since Sunday. Sick and all, but still going through some things, still going through some battles, still learning how to get through the battles, finding our way, finding our way, finding our way. I thank you, God. Thank you, my God. Thank you for all the transitional living facilities. Thank you for the group homes. Thank you for the outpatient, the inpatient, for everything that you do to help another individual get itself together. Struggling with the disease of an addiction. Don't take it very lightly that it's easy. Finding our way. Thank you for the 12 Steps of Narcotics Anonymous program. Boy, I thank you. I give you all the praise, because without a 12-step of Narcotics Anonymous program, where would we all be? Or I could just speak for me. Where would I be? You know, tonight we're talking about addiction, the disease of an addiction. And I asked God, even through the sickness, to just give me something to go on. And it was finding our way back. Finding our way back from an addiction that's been horrible to our bodies and to our mind, that we came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us. You know, and I wanted to talk about that addiction. Addiction is very real. Addiction is something that I don't take for granted. But tonight we're going to talk about finding our way back from addiction. And finding our way back is something that we should pat our own self on the shoulders. Because what we was going through in our addiction is very painful. And the reason why we use, the reason why we drink. You know, I remember, I was thinking about it while I was laying in the bed. I remember I had an alcohol problem just as well. Hey, Robin. I had an alcohol problem. And I remember going to the doctor one time, and I was just getting in treatment. And I remember they wanted to give me some kind of medicine to take, a pill to take. Boy, this flu ain't no joke. Wanted to give me a pill. That was back then. And I took it. Well, I took it from them. I took the prescription. And I remember talking with my sponsor, and I remember my sponsor telling me, well, if you got to take something to stop you from doing something, how long would that last? And I questioned that. You know, I looked at what she told me because I have a sponsor that's still my sponsor. Hey, Auntie Evelyn, how y'all doing? Good to see y'all. Pulled myself up out of the bed since Sunday, and this flu is kicking my butt. But I had to get up and do what I was told to do. Hey, Ralph. Oh, I hadn't seen Ralph. Hey, Ralph. But anyway, and I remember him giving me this medicine. I remember talking to my sponsor. Now, I was a new person, finding my way back, trying to find my way back from this addiction, trying to find my way to realize why am I still fighting the demons that I've been fighting. And I was fighting a lot of them. And I remember my sponsor telling me, you know, that if I start taking something to stop doing something, and then what happens next? And I thought about all that. I thought about that. I thought about if I'm going to come in treatment, I need to come in treatment willing and open and have an open mind to want to stop without taking anything, because I've been taking so much of other stuff that I didn't need because of my addiction. And so I had to think about that, and I thought about it, and I did not take it, because then that means I will become dependent on something else like I was on the drugs and the alcohol. And I wanted to be free. I didn't know if I was going to make it, but I knew I was going to try. So when I came into treatment, I didn't take the medicine. I didn't even fill a prescription, because my sponsor said something to me that made a lot of sense. If you take something to get rid of something that you've been taking, then what? But it was a then what that surprised me. It was a then what that I had to look at. Then what would I do if I run out? Then what would I do if I get sick? Or then what would I do if I just stop? So it was many what ifs in that category that I was talking with my sponsor with. And then I realized, you know what? You know, I've been taking too much stuff too long to start depending on something else to help me get off something else. And to me, that didn't make no sense. Now, to anybody else who need to take something to stop them from drinking or take something to stop them from using, do y'all do what y'all want to do? But I know in order for me to have an open and willing mind to leave everything alone and let my body get free of trying to take something to fix something else, when the only thing I need to fix was me. I had to get butt naked honest. I didn't want to take nothing else. I've been taking stuff since I was 12 and 6 and 8. I can go on through the years as a little kid trying this, trying that, you know, sneaking doing this. And when the doctor gave me that, I didn't ever take it. And I'm so glad I didn't, because when my sponsor told me, well, if you're taking that to take this to help you get off this, what about what if? What if? What if? And that was that one if had blown my mind. That one if, that I knew that I had to do this, and I had to do this right in order to get through some things. Now, the subject that my high power gave me laying in my sick bed was finding our way back. You know, what was the purpose of us trying to find our way back from an addiction? Well, I can't tell you what your purpose was, but I can sure enough tell you what mine was. I knew I had some problems. I knew I had messed up a lot of relationships. I messed up a lot of my self-worth. I didn't think about no accountability. I didn't think about nothing. All I thought about was my selfish needs and what I wanted and when I wanted it. And that caused me something greater later on in life, because now I realize that that I got an addiction that's bigger than me. You know, and I had to come to a point in my life to try to find my way back, just like some of y'all finding y'all way back. Some of y'all, and shout out to the ones that's got clean time, where it's 3 months or 6 months or 9 months or a year or multiples of years. I'm very grateful for the 12 Steps of Narcotics Anonymous program, because it also helped me find my way back. It also helped me identify with the things that we need to identify with. A lot of times in our using, we have a lot of issues that's behind the scenes, issues that we don't want to talk about, issues that's hidden, issues that's not a good familiar place for us to even go back in. But finding my way back from that disease, it was worth it all. It was worth it to me because now I'm addicted. I lost my own self-respect. I didn't pay attention to accountabilities for the actions that I've done in the using of my recovery. So I had to look at a whole bunch of things. I had to look at, why do I keep using? And people say, well, that drug, it keeps you using. No, it ain't the drug that keep us using. It's the behaviors and the attitudes and our character that keeps us using. Because I found out through battling this addiction is that when you really want to give up something to gain so much more, you got to look at self. You got to look at yourself. And hey, Sandra, Massey, good to see you. You got to look at some things that you don't want to look at. You got to look at some things like your behavior, your attitude, your compulsiveness, your demeanor, or how you like to hurt people. You had to look at how you went about your life using, and how you misuse other people just like they misuse you. So I had to look at a lot of things, and finding my way back, it wasn't easy. And I'm sure for any of y'all that's been around me, or that know me, or the ones that don't know me, the ones that's struggling, finding your way back ain't easy. Because when you look at yourself and see the disaster and the problems of your actions, then cause you to do the things that you do. So once I got coming into my meeting, and I got me a good sponsor after watching her for a year. I didn't wait no 6 months. I wanted a year because I know I was battling with my own self, and I didn't want to get no sponsor just to say I'm doing something, and I didn't want to play no games. Man, I was tired, and when you get tired, you start looking at some things. And people say, well, it's the addiction. I can't let go of the addiction. But let me tell y'all something. I'm going to tell y'all something real that's real for me. It wasn't just a drug. Yeah, once you put the drug in you, you start doing things and crazy things and becoming somebody different and acting different. It wasn't that. It was the person that went and got the drugs. It was the person that needed the drugs. It was the person that counted on the drugs. And that person was me. So I realized something else about this addiction, of this disease of this and addiction, is that long as you don't put it in you, and long as you got a clear mind to think, you will even play games with your mind. Because your mind is the most important thing of it all. And I realized that. I realized it ain't just a drug, it's me. It ain't just the drugs, it's me that caused my behavior to act the way I act. It's my disease that I picked up, I endure, that wanted to keep feeling high, or keep smoking, or keep drinking, or popping pills. I did it all. So I can't just say one thing led to another, because they all did. Because I did it all. Hey, I'm still baffling and thanking God at the same time how he saw favor in us to still keep us around in this world that we once found ourselves not knowing where we was going or where we was coming from. But somewhere down the line, we found our way back. I found my way back from this disease of an addiction. And I had to realize, people can say, oh, you shouldn't have been using crack, or you shouldn't have been doing this. Or look, it wasn't crack. It was me. Because as long as you don't go and pick up the drug, as long as you don't premeditated thinking about how you're going to get the drugs, and then your reaction will cause your impulsiveness to go and get the drugs, now you up under the influence of drugs. But it was a God in me that had to deal with me in a different way. God deals with all of us in a different way. He monitors us, and he talks to us, and he relates to us. He connects to us. And he had to connect with me in a whole different level. Maybe than he did with you. But I do know the way we talk to God, everybody got his own way of talking to God. And I know that I needed a connection for him to help me understand what was wrong with me. Finding my way back now. Finding my way back wasn't easy. Because I went into treatment, and because I had to do 28 days the first day I went in, it wasn't easy. Even sitting there with other addicts, sitting there with other peoples and listening to the counselors, and they be saying something to you, your mind way on how to get out of here and go back to getting high. See, I had to deal with that person. I had to deal with the person that I was in a treatment facility, which was Northwest General Hospital at that time. And I remember coming in, my body was there, but my mind was still wanting to leave and make up any excuse that I could to come up out of there so I can go back and go get high again, because the pain was too great. Now, y'all probably don't know about the pain. For the one that's recovering, y'all know so well about how the pain worked. And I had to find a way to convince my own self that I needed to sit down, be quiet, and listen. My life was on the line. I had 3 kids. My life was on the line. I was already shamed and feeling guilty, feeling like I was less than, didn't want to live, to take my own life. I was battling inside of the hospital, inside of the clinic. And I remember having Sterling White, and I remember a couple of more Jerry. I remember a couple of more good ones that were coming in there. And one of them said to me, he said, Renee, you here, but your mind is somewhere else. And it was. I wanted to make up an excuse to get up out of there. Even though I had convinced God that I was ready to get clean, but I was still trying to convince myself that I needed to get up out of there. I can't do this. I don't want to do these 28 days. That's a long time. My excuse was my kids gonna miss me. I need to be there with my kids. And then the other part of my brain was saying, well, you were there with your kids, but you wasn't there in mine, so you were never with your kids. Start trying to find a way to get out. And I sit there, and when the counselor started talking to me, I started weeping, because it was a lot of things that I had never dealt with. It was a lot of things that kept me from trying to find my way back. Was mental things and physical things and hurt and being dishonest. I was feeling like I was going to explode, because I had lost my way. And when we coming into treatment, somewhere down the line, we lost our way. And when we lose our way, coming back to find our way we're going to have some distractions. And that's why I think God gave me that, because finding my way back, I had some distractions. I had a lot of them. A lot of things, and a lot of people didn't want to see me get clean. A lot of them didn't want to see me get clean because they knew that Renee was the type of person that once Renee set something in her head, or you all set something in your mind, in your head, that once you got it, you was going to be good at it. And then you'll change. So I had to learn to get some acceptance. Well, I'm all screwed up. I've been fighting this demon, that demon, every day. Because the drugs is the demon. And I had to find a way to find my way back. And when I was finding my way back, I still had some distractions. Like, anything that happened, I wanted to go back and use. It was like I was glad to be clean, but I needed something to put the blame on so I can have an excuse that I can go back and pick up again. Finding our way back. And I had to find my way back without all the bull crap, all the slick stuff, all the slick thinking, and I had to learn how to just get really, really honest with myself. I was messed up. I had defeated everything that I wanted to do in life. I found myself drowning. Hey, Laquita, I was drowning in it. So finding my way back, I knew that I was going to have some obstacles in my life because I was fighting to save my life. We come in fighting. We come in struggling. Just because we come into treatment don't mean that we got it together. We came in there broken and struggling, trying to find our way back. And some of us went in and went back out and say, I can't do that. Or go back in and went back out. I can't do that. See, that's that struggle. And struggle to stay in. But I'm telling you what, when we struggling, it's a sign of somewhere down the line, we must pay attention. We must get it together. We must find that this ain't our purpose in life. Using drugs and drinking alcohol and doing the stupid stuff that we did, becoming homeless or don't have a place to lay our head, or going on there sleeping and prostituting and dipping and dabbing on some other man's penis just to get another hit of drug. That ain't our purpose. That wasn't my purpose, but that's the stuff I did. And when we start doing all these creative things that we think that is creative, it's not. It's horrifying. Because through all them years that I played games, that I was out there thinking I'm being slick or somebody that I'm not, or pretending that, the worst pain you can be in is being the person or showing somebody else that you think, showing somebody else you got it like that when you really drowning in the inside. That's the worst pain to have in the world to me. Walking around with your makeup on and looking good, but you feeling useless. You feeling, that you're a liar, you're a cheater, you're a manipulator. You fooling all these people like I got it like that, and they think I'm the mess, and they think that I got it like that. Really, I was struggling within. I was struggling within. And, most of the text messages that I get, I read a couple of them last night. About 4 o'clock in the morning, I kept getting these texts, and I end up calling this young lady back. And the young lady wanted me to talk to her boyfriend because he was on drugs. So in the midst of me being sick, I texted her and told her I was finna call at 4:40 in the morning. And he was crying. And, I'm used to seeing women's cry. But to hear a man cry, to hear a man that done lost his job due to his addiction, is going to lose his place due to his addiction, to lose his wife due to this addiction, and putting himself in there. But I told him, everything that you lost, you can gain. What would you be willing to give up in order to gain? What would you be willing to let go? He said, I'll let go of the drugs. I said, that ain't just the problem. I said, you the problem, sir. You the problem. You the problem. The drugs ain't the problem. It's you that picks up the drugs. You that go get the drugs. You that asks to be brought the drugs. So my thing is to you, what is you willing to give up? So I helped him get into a facility this morning. I woke up doing that first thing to get him into a facility on the south side where he can start over. And he called me again later on this evening and said, Miss Renee, I thank you. He said, because you're right, it was me. It ain't just the drug. People keep saying the drug. Yeah, the drugs is a disease, and once we put it in us, it manifests to do what it's supposed to do. But it's really us. It's really who we dealing with. It's really who we became. It's really who we want to become. And I had to look at I had to look at the ugly before I can even look at the good. I looked at the ugly first, and the ugly had me in a place where I didn't even like myself, where I didn't even want to be around. I felt better isolating, going into my room and staying to myself because nobody understood me. Nobody else is like me. That's how dumbfounded I was when it came to recovery. It's plenty of people like me. It was plenty of people in the atmosphere of thinking and doing the way I was doing. But I had never met them because I had never went into a program, except for when I went into Northwest Jennifer. And when I went in there this time, I still was trying to play Russian roulette with my life. Until one counselor came to me and said, Renee, he said, seem like you here, but your mind's somewhere else. He asked me, did you think about this before you came in? I said, many times I made a U-turn back and forth, until I decided to just give myself a chance at life to understand why am I like this? Why do I always got to manage and control and fix somebody else's stuff? Why do I always got to nurture and help other people? Why do I have to always be the one that's hurting? Why do I always have to be the one sabotaging something? Why is it that I always have to find a way to let somebody else's problem become my problem? I've been a fixer all my life, and that's my problem. Trying to fix, manage, and control other people's instead of work and nurture and fix and work on me. That's my problem. That was my problem then, but that ain't my problem now. So when I tell you finding your way back, you're going to see the difference from where you were and where you at today. Because where I'm at today, I ain't trying to fix nobody else. Because, when you dealing with life on life terms, it's enough to deal with your own inner thoughts, your own inner feelings, and your own people that's around you that you have to take care of. So I had to learn how to manifest in a place in my life it's okay for me to be alone. I'm stronger when I'm alone. With the God of my understanding with me, that's carrying me, that's there for me, that's holding on to me, then I can be alone with him. I can do that because I have learned that. If I put all my fears of what I'm feeling and give it to somebody else and you think they're going to nurture you, they're not going to nurture you because they got their own fears and their own problems and their own sabotaging that they do. So I had to find a way back. And finding a way back wasn't easy. Finding a way back to deal with my behaviors and my attitude and holding on to anger. That was my whole biggest thing, is holding on to anger. Any kind of anger. It didn't have to be just one person that did something to me. It can be all kind of anger. You know, I was holding on to anger because I had let myself down. You know, I have Bush messed around and I created this monster in me, and this monster in me kept wanting to get high because I didn't have to deal with the monster once I put it in me, not realizing that was the monster, you know, but the monster that I was taking was creating a person in me that I didn't even like. But, you know, when we using drugs and alcohol, we don't care. All we care, we're selfish. We self-centered. All we care about us, what we feeling, how we feeling, what can we do? I need this and I need that. That was me. A person that always nurtured, always tried to manage and control and fix other people's problems. But when I realized something, when I realized nobody was there to help fix me. Nobody. Hey, Gertrude. Nobody. Nobody but the God of my understanding, and I choose to call him the Almighty God. He was the only person that was there that heard all my needs and heard that I had a problem and heard that I'm at bottom, God. I just need you. I need your help. Why do I have to pretend all the time? You know, just like right now, people's is clean, you know, and I don't pretend no more. That was one of my biggest problems in recovery, trying to pretend. It is what it is. If you see me coming there looking sad, that's what it is. If you see me happy, cut that heat off. If you see me happy, that's what it is. I ain't pretending no more, because pretenders get hurt. Pretenders keep getting hurt. Pretenders that think and want to show off and act like they got it like this and they that. Go back. I bet you, if you talk to 20 or 30 people that know that person that's pretending, you wouldn't believe it. I'm not a pretender. I used to be every pretender that you thought I could be. I was that. Pretending when I wasn't hurting. Pretending when I wanted somebody and I wanted them to like me, but I pretend that I didn't. Or pretending that all my bills is paid and I'm financially secured and I'm okay. Pretending that I'm not hurting inside and I'm not carrying a whole lot of just my hurt, but other people that I love that are hurting. Okay, I was a pretender. And that's when I realized, dealing with my sponsor, my biggest problem was I was playing hide and seek with myself. You know, didn't want nobody to see me, didn't want nobody to really know me, didn't want nobody to know I'm hurting. So I'm telling you all these things while we're finding our way back. When we finding our way back, and the thing that I found out about me is that since I've been clean all these years of 3 decades, I ain't got to pretend no more. Because see, I can go back and look back and see what pretending done for me. Pretending that caused me to almost not have a home. Pretending that already caused me to lose people that was in my life that was valuable to me, that I had lost them because of my stupidity and my ignorance of wanting to lie and cheat and steal. See, I had to learn, when you finding your way back, it ain't easy. So if somebody telling you why you stop, I can't drink. I can't take nothing. Do you know finding my way back while I was in recovery? My mother died on me. My son died on me. And I couldn't take a drink. If I did, that was it. So finding my way back ain't always been easy neither, even in being clean. But still, we had to find a solution to every problem that occur in our lives. Me losing my mother was the biggest stumbling thing that I ever had to carry. I didn't even know who I was. I had kind of lost it. I really did. You know, being clean all them years, you can still lose your own kind of, your memory of thought, and you can be disbobulated, and I was all that. I was everything that a person say they could be when you even clean. But I knew I couldn't take nothing. You know, they told me, no matter what happens, finding your way back, being in the recovery field, you recovering, still you can't use no matter what. Finding my way back. Finding my way back, that somebody that hurt you, that you thought that really loved you, that you bent over for them, you give them, you help them. And I found out something about that. I ain't doing nothing. I ain't doing that no more. That caused me too many broken hearts. You know, to try to prove to you I love you, but what you proving to me, you ain't doing the same thing. So what I'm doing, I'm buying you again. Okay, so that means I'm putting myself in the same situation that I was in when I was using. I ain't using today. So what's the difference? What the difference is, if don't nobody like you and care for you, then you must move on. You cannot stay in a relationship when somebody don't value who you are. When people don't value who you are, I don't care if it's a friend, your kid, your associate, if they don't value your values of what you believe in, then that's not a person for you. Finding my way back. So can't nobody tell me that you can get clean and come into treatment and that everything is going to be okay. No, no, no. They lying. They lying. Because getting clean is going to be that's going to be your strongest point. Getting clean, coming into treatment and staying clean is going to be your A1 thing that matters. Because it's going to be a lot of what ifs. What if my mother died? What? What if my son died? What if my old man died? What is the best godfather that I ever had died? All 4 people done died. What if? What you gonna do? I couldn't use. I had to pray more than I ever prayed. I had to hold on to the God of my understanding like my life depended on it. I had to get around some peoples in a meeting. I had to go and talk to my sponsor. I had to go, because see, my body is feeling very lonely right now and very broken. And this is clean. This is clean. So when you going through finding your way back, and the reason why now I know why God gave me this subject, because when I was finding my way back and I was clean, we talking about double digits then and 3 digits then, I still was finding my way to stay above water so I wouldn't go back to the drowning place that I was familiar that I like to be in. See, it was a place and time and place in my life that I like being, feeling like I was drowning, because that kept me getting high. Every time I felt guilty or felt shame, I just go and use. Every time somebody hurt me or did something to me, I just go and use. Every time I hurt somebody or took something from somebody or manipulated somebody, I still went and used. So I had to feel all them familiar feelings in order to learn how to deal with them all. Because you're going to have to deal with all them different feelings differently. Like losing your mother or your child. I had to do that different. I had to go to some meetings more than I was regularly going. I had to call my sponsor and go sit up and talk with her a couple of times out of a week, because I was in a breaking mode. You know, just because I'm been clean in all them years don't mean I ain't got no feelings. That don't mean that I got clean, that all my feelings went away. My natural feelings, my loving feelings, my heartbreaking feelings, all that was still there. So I had to deal with that in a different way. But I wanted to deal with that in a different way, y'all, because I couldn't afford to go back and use. I wasn't giving up all the clean time that I worked so hard to keep. I wasn't giving up all the things that I learned how to fight with that helped me not go through that struggle no more, this struggle no more. I had to learn how to deal with me. I had to learn how to deal with the person that took the drugs, the person that drank the alcohol, the person that popped the pill. Ain't nothing you can give me that's going to stop me, because in your mind, if you want to go back to use, it's like that person was trying to give me a pill. You know, I hear some of the people say, well, you go and you take this and it'll stop your urges from your drinking and this and this and that. See, I wanted to be free from all that. I didn't want to depend on nobody but the God of my understanding that was going to help me get through the next journey that I was going to go through. Because every time you go through a journey, it's a different journey. It can be a death journey. It can be a happiness journey. It can be in between journeys. But you're going to go through different journeys in different seasons of the year. And I had to learn that. And I had to learn that the biggest mistake that I can make, or we can make within ourselves, is just picking up. It's just that we can stop at any gate. I don't need nobody on here or nobody in the world to tell me that I can't pick up when I get ready. Because I can go and use anytime I get ready. But what would it cost me? What would it cost me to use? It would cost me everything. I can't afford to go back to using. Because, see, I'm one of them addicts that once I go back, I won't come back for a while. And then I'm so scared now that once I go back out there and using that stuff they got out there now, I don't even care what kind of stuff it is. All I know, I ain't going back. Because, see, if I go back, I know I'm not coming back. If I go back, I know I'm going to die. And that's what, I hate this disease. I tell y'all that all the time. I hate this disease because the disease, people think it's just a drug. It ain't the drugs, y'all. It's the behaviors, applying yourself, to go get the drug. It's our brokenness inside of us. It's our carelessness inside of us. It's our betrayal that we carry inside of us. It's our hurting and breaking point in our life that's carrying us to go and get that drug. See, if I don't go get the drug, then the drug can't come to me. Because everybody know I don't allow no drugs in my house. So drugs can't come to me. I done been broken from drugs and alcohol and any other kind of thing. Acid, you name it. I tried every drug it was in the book. But I tell you what, finding my way back, I found my way back for one reason. And that was to find the Renee that I had lost. And some of y'all need to work on y'all too. Some of y'all just be like me. Some of y'all have been in relationships and you gave it all. And then they already turn around and they find somebody else. Well, you ain't going to find nobody like me. So I'm okay if you walk away from me. You know, do you know how long it took me to tell y'all that? Do you know how long it took me to tell you that I'm okay with nobody wanting me? Because I know I am valuable to me. Do you know how many words and how long it took me to get to this point in life that I am valuable? I am somebody. I'm a good person. I'm a loyal person. I'm a devoted person. I'm a caring person. Do you know how long it took me to finding my way back? Do you know? I don't care who don't like me. And if you pretending, if you come into my life and pretending that you do like me, guess what? The God in me gonna see it. Because see, I worked on something. I worked on me for a change. And when you work on yourself for a change, that shows up. it shows up that in your character, so now I ain't gotta do this for this person. I ain't gotta nurture this for this person. I ain't gotta do all that no more. The 12 Steps of Narcotics Anonymous program showed me something through the steps. That whatever I want to be, I can be. Whatever I want to hold on to that's not good, I can do that too. Anything that I want to find fault in, I can find that too. Anything that I want to walk around holding a grudge on somebody, I can do that too. Anytime I want to be happy and have some peace and joy in my life, I can do that too. So finding my way back gave me a lot of information to carry and to hold for myself. I ain't never going back to use no matter what happened. Because I found the value in me. You found the value in you. That's what you have to look, the value. What's the value? The value is what you worked on. The value is what you brought into yourself. The value is what you put out to the universe. My universe is loving and kind, being honest, not hurting nobody, staying to myself, giving good feedback, being a service, doing service work to the program, learning how to accept a person for who they is and not who I think they should be, or my thoughts of what I wanted them to be. Hey, when you come in treatment and you ain't playing no games, it's going to teach you more than you ever thought you was going to receive. I done received, hey, Maddie, I done received a whole lot. I received that I am more valuable to myself than I am anybody. And it took me a long time. I had to go through some mountains and some storms and some rain, finding my way back. That's why God gave me that, finding our way back, into finding our way back for us. Finding our way back ain't no joke. Because when we came into recovery, before we even came into recovery, we was broken, we was lost, we was miserable, we was confused, we was disappointed, we was hurt, we was lost, we was fighting for our life, and people keep saying, well, if you got to do it for yourself. Yeah, they ain't lying. You got to do this program for yourself. You can't do it to help this person. You can't do it to help this person. If I lived in an apartment and everybody in that department decided to get high, do you think I'm going to lose everything? Do you think I'm going to lose everything I worked for just because everybody in the other apartment that I live in is getting high? No. Because I value me today. Some people, I know, I'm not going to lie. And I still pray for these people. And they good. They are friends to me, But it's like every 6 months they go use. It's like every 3 months they go back and they use. And then they come and get clean time, then they go back. Not losing my focus on me, but that just showed me what I wasn't going to do. I wasn't going to play Russian roulette with a drug of an addiction, because drugs of addiction, and you die in this addiction today. You die. People just dying left and right in this addiction. So what everybody else want to do, that's on them. I remain to stay clean because I found my way coming back into the program, and being in the program, I'm still finding my way to deal with hurdles and to deal with confrontations and to deal with problems that I didn't ask for, or to deal with how I'm feeling, and I thank God. What I said, God, I'm out the way. I'm just going to let you handle it. Because every time I put my 2 cents in it or try to fix, manage, and control it, you took that desire from me long time ago. And I don't want to pick that back up. I ain't picking trying to fix, manage, and control somebody else. When you learn the value of yourself, and when you learn how you dealt with the ugliness of how you didn't even like yourself. You know, it was a time I would go in the mirror and I would look in the mirror. And then I would see this cut, you know, the makeup kind of hide it, but it was a big old hole there. And I remember getting shot in the face with a .357 Magnum, tore my ear off. I talked about it at a few different long time ago. And every time I go in there and I looked in that mirror and I go to put my makeup on and I tell God, I say, God, you know, I know that you are the universe. I know that you the God of my understanding, because get down from there. Because when I thought I was dying, you were still carrying me. You knew this purpose was coming for me. You knew that I was going to be on this live eventually talking about the disease of an addiction. So God, every time I get a chance to see myself in the mirror, and that's every day, it's a blessing to tell you thank you. Because in my addiction, I got shot. In my addiction, I got stabbed. In my addiction, I laid on the bed, meningitis, where my brain got swole. See, when you go back and look in your life and see the unseen things that he took care of, you know nothing about. But then the things that you do have revelation, the things that you have remembered or thought about, then you can know that, you know, God, you must have did a whole bunch of stuff for me that I didn't even know you did. When death was in front of me and I couldn't see it, you helped it. You halt to it. Also, I thank you for every time I go to look in this mirror, that all through all my hurts and pain, through the stabbing, you know, the shooting, the meningitis, the double pneumonia, you know, all the time that I think about that I laid on my deathbed, that you found a reason. You needed a reason for me to find our way back. You need that reason for us to analyze it and find the way back, and that we don't have to be anything that somebody else think we should be. We should be what we worked on and settled ourselves to be. I ain't trying to be for nobody. I can't change just for you. I used to could, because I was getting high, so I could be whatever you want to be. You know, I could be I used to tell people I can be Deanna Ross, I can be Mahalia Jackson, I can be with all the wigs I got and I can be whatever you want to be, but when it all boils down, I gotta be naturally what I've been born to be, and that's truth, and that's finding my value in myself. And see, once you find the value in yourself, can't nobody take that for you. Yeah, we're going to go through some hurt. Man, I done had some men that I thought that loved me to death, that I was going to be with through the day I died. But that wasn't meant for me. That was just something I picked, I guess, because when God puts something together, it don't divide itself, it stays together. So I had to learn the value within myself, the value in my self-worth, my value in my accountability, my value of knowing the difference between wrong and right, my value of the way I think, because sometimes Satan can get in your head telling you to do this and you'd want to do this, but I learned the good way. I listen to the good ear, and the good ear never strolls me wrong. That ear is very confusing sometimes, so I pay no attention to this side of the ear, because it gets the demon in it and it gets confusing. So I just always listen to the good ear. So I recognize the value in me in that, because I used to listen to both of them at the same time, and that's why I was just about to go crazy. So I stopped listening to this side. I tell everybody this side I don't listen to, but when it comes to this side, the sweet and the pleasant voice and the goodness of God comes to me, and I can hear them clearly out this ear, because I know that I don't ever want to use again, because, you know, using, it took me to some places that I never would have thought Renee Williams would have visited. I would have never thought I would have did the things that I've seen other people's do and other people's get in and be a part of, but I did it all. So for every crackhead that I used to laugh at, for every alcoholic that I used to talk about and laugh at. I can't laugh never again because I've been all them crackheads. I've been all them alcoholics. I've been all them pill poppers. I've been all them, try Mikey and he'll like it. I've been all that. And I know what it is for somebody to be hurting and me not to try to help. Sick as a dog. But I still got up and tried to do some service work. That's my job because somebody saw me on here or somebody said they've been listening. Somebody that didn't show their name said they've been following me, so therefore I know what I'm doing is right. But we finding our way back and we must stay finding ourselves. Don't get comfortable just finding yourself because you're in a certain situation or you're in a safety net place. Keep finding your way. Keep learning about you. Keep learning that the drugs don't put themselves in you. You have to pick up to take the drug or pick up to take a drink. It's the willpower of yourself that's going to keep you clean. It's the willpower of yourself that's going to keep you clean. We can always, make excuses of why I went back, why I kept using, but to me, I ain't going back. Ain't no relapse for me because that's not in this story that I'm writing. It's not in my plan. It's not in this story. I'm not going back to use ever again. And a relapse for me is never going to be because people say never say never. I'm telling you, I'm never picking up. Why would I go back and pick up something that it took me so long to find and do service work on me? I had to do work on me. So why would I go back? Ain't nothing. If my mother died, I didn't go back. My son died. People that I love died. I never go back. What makes you think I'm going to go back? It ain't worthy. I found something in me that I lost a long time ago, and that's my self-worth. I ain't got no more dark places. I was living in a dark place where I got comfortable with that. Living in the dark scene, didn't care if it was no light. But today, I want light all around me. I don't want to live in the dark places no more because dark places will make you do the crazy things, the unseen things, and the careless things to yourself and to other people. I found a new way to live without using drugs and alcohol. And if I can do it, I know that anybody can do it. It's just your choice of when you're going to do it. It's your choice of when you're going to get tired of drinking and getting high or popping pills and you make everybody think you're okay. But the most person that you fooling is yourself. I got loved ones and I'm still praying that they let go of the drugs and the alcohol. But that's not the power that I'm supposed to take care of. I can only pray and ask God to help along the way. But I'm not trying to do anything. My thing is to keep the focus on me and to help the ones that I can and want it. But see, I know that laying up in this bed, I've been in the bed since Sunday of last week. When we talked about we was on the 12 step. It seemed like I just caught the flu, hot and warm, go to the doctor, take this and drink soup, and I've been really sick. I ain't never had the flu like this. And my daughter somebody told me tonight, my auntie and somebody else said, don't go on live. You sick. When I went to go get that crack, I was sick too. I have to push my way through, y'all. Y'all don't know how grateful I am to be clean. And every day I don't have to use an excuse to pick up something or take something to stop me from doing something. Y'all just don't know when I get excited when it comes to recovery because that means I fought well, very well to find all obstacles in my life that had me buried. That had me already at rock bottom because of my behaviors and my attitudes and all this and that. So when God came into my life, he come into your life to clean up what we messed up. And that's what I did. I messed up a lot of stuff. Hey, Daryl, good to see you. I messed up a lot of stuff. But today I'm here only through the grace of God, because he knows the struggles that I went through to find. That's why I use that subject tonight, finding our way back. And finding our way back is the most beautiful thing you can inherit within yourself. Because, you know, I don't have to pretend no more. And that was my biggest struggle. I pretended through pain. I pretended through grief. I pretended through happiness. I pretended through joy. I always act like I was happy. Always act like I was cool. Always. All that was pretending. And when you living in the world or you pretending to be something that you ain't, then you messed up. I know I was. So I don't pretend no more. Because now I found the solution to the problem of why I kept picking up. And it ain't, let me tell you something, it ain't just the drugs. I hate when people say, oh, it's the drugs did that. It was you did that. It was you, it was us that do stuff like that. We pick up the drug, we go get the drug, or we call somebody to bring the drug. You know, but I ain't looking for no excuse. Like I said, I'm clean, I'ma stay clean. I worked on me too hard to let go, to let anything come into my life. If you ain't good, you got to go. If you can't bring something at the table, you got to go. I can bring plenty to the table, but can you bring anything? Something. Other than, well, I ain't gonna say that, but I'm good. Because I found that the value in me is worth something to keep. As long as I don't use and pick up, I'm good. I can deal. I know I can't use no matter what happens. So I'm good. I cannot use. I cannot pick up. I cannot use again no matter what happens. And the greatest fear that I must tell you before I leave here was when my mother died. It was a fear for me. I had to call my sponsor. I had to call my friend. For the first time in my life, I was scared. Because I had to say because why? I was scared of the unknown, of losing the first love of my life. And now I got to go to Mississippi and drive to bury my mama. Man, finding our way. And I had been clean 3 decades. Finding our way. And I was scared to death. I wanted to pick up. All these are just thoughts. That ear. I was scared. I wasn't going to make it. I was scared of what I was going to do when I get to Mississippi. Before I got to that funeral home, I was scared. And I kept calling my sponsor. Y'all can say I was a chicken. You can call me whatever you want. But I had to dial my safe line to talk to her because I was actually scared of the unknown. I'm finna say goodbye. My mother gone to paradise. Like my godmama would say, she in paradise. It ain't no heaven, it's paradise. And she gone to paradise. Now I'm finna gotta go. And I gotta be in front of all these people. And I gotta put on this pretend show again. And I thought I was done with that. But now the pretend thing is coming back on. Well, I gotta get in front of all these people and act like I'm okay. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't start picking up my own selfish ways and my patterns again because I'm dealing in some pain. Can't do it. So I had to walk in there just how I was feeling. I wanted to feel everything and to know that I ain't got to use behind it. I got to talk in front of all these people about a lady that everybody loves. And I got to talk in front of these people, Lord, am I going to make it? Am I going to fall? Am I going to faint? I can't talk to her no more at 2 o'clock in the morning from 8 or to 12. The night before she died, we talked from 9 until 1 o'clock in the morning. Just me and my mama. And the next call at 6 o'clock. I can hear my brother today as if it was today, screaming and hollering and saying, Mama is gone. The ones who got a mama. No matter how however you think she should be, or what she didn't do, or she wasn't there for you, or she act like she this or that. Let me tell you something. You only get one. And me and my sister felt it. Me and my sister and brother felt it because all we had was each other. Nobody came to visit us. Nobody came. My mother helped everybody. Nobody came to check on us. Me and Selena felt like we was in a world of our own. And my mother was well known through everybody, through the years, all the bars, the taverns. You think nobody checked on us? Nobody checked on us. After we got from that funeral, that was it. Me and Selena was on our own. And me and Selena talked about that today. We got a phone call every now and then. Y'all, how y'all doing? And we checking on you. But I think I went through something with that. I went through something. Because it seemed like when my mama died, it seemed like the whole world just stopped. I didn't give a doggone. The whole world just stopped. And I had to ask my sister, did you feel that way? Did the world feel like it stopped? It did stop. Because you know why? Wasn't nobody gonna ever love us the way Miss Peggy loved us. Yeah, my mother loved us. We had it all. We had the loving, the nurturing, the caring, the laughter. We had it all. We were spoiled as hell. We had it all. And so that's why we felt lost. Because everything that she was to us now was gone. And I had to tell my sister these words. Now we have to give to each other. All that fighting and bickering and all that, mama gone now. So whoever got a mama, don't think your mama gonna be there forever. Because they will not. They got to die and leave here just like I do. I got to die and leave his world just like my kids do. So I had to learn through recovery that recovery is the greatest gift that was ever given to me. Because I learned so many tools and what to use through the 12 Steps of Narcotics Anonymous program. And the Narcotics Anonymous program got God in all the steps. And if God is through all the steps, then I knew once I came into treatment that I was not going to fail. Because I found one purpose, and that was I saw God in all the steps. So that means that I had something to fight with. So I thank y'all so very much. I've been really sick. Thank y'all for the phone calls. I've had the flu since Sunday night after I got off of here on live, and I've been in the bed, getting up, taking showers, sweating, and my losing my voice, and my kids they've been helping me so much. They ain't never seen me stay in the bed this long. I mean, this flu hit me. But anyway, thank God I'm up. I pushed my way up out the bed. Got a funeral to go to tomorrow. Mr. Walter, I'm going to try my best to make it. And tomorrow, and I thank y'all. But on Sunday, we are on step 1. We admitted that we were powerless over our addiction and that our lives had become unmanageable. Oh, that's a good one for me because I'm ready for that one. I'm ready. Thank y'all so very much. Thank you, Maddie. Thank you, Auntie Evelyn. Thank you, Wanda. Thank you, Daryl. Thank you, Robin. Thank you, Laquita. For all the names that I can't see, thank y'all. And for the ones that come on all through the night, through the next couple of days or whatever days, thank y'all too for being a part of my process. Thank me for being a part of my process. It's a good feeling because see what I just told you to try to help you. Guess what? It helped me. It does it all the time. So I thank God. Hey, Peggy, how you doing? I like that new hairstyle you got, Peggy. That's pretty. Thank y'all so very much. Finding our way back was the subject tonight. finding our way back. And even in the midst of being in recovery, we still finding some things out and finding our way through and how to work it and what to do. So I thank you. If ain't nobody told you, be nice and kind to someone today and love on each other. If you can't say nothing nice, just shut up. I tell people I had to learn how to shut up. And whatever my thinking is okay, I'm okay, but I ain't got to tell it out loud. Thank you. Hey, good seeing you, Auntie Evelyn. I'm going to get back and lay down and drink me some more soup. This has been the worst flu that I've ever had in my life. So when they say it's the frenzy flu, I caught it from somebody. And don't know, probably my grandbaby, because he had it first. So anyway, God bless you. Thank you. I'll see y'all Sunday, and we're on step 1. We admitted to that we were powerless and our lives have become unmanageable. Thank y'all so much. God bless you. Good night.